Hello everyone. I hope all of you have been able to download review1.csv file. Make sure that you're creating a data directory in the same location as your template notebook file and move review1.csv within the data directory. We'll be using the data directory structure to generate HTML files for demo problem 2. Before I get started with demo problem 2, I want to show you a couple of useful functions inside the OS module. I've already imported the OS module. I'm going to define a variable called html underscore path. This variable is going to store the path to the blanket reviews file, which is going to store bulleted list of hyperlinks to the individual review HTML files. I want to create the blanket HTML file with name as reviews.html inside the data directory. So I'll have to use os.path.join function call to make sure that my code is portable. Never hardcode forward or backward slash within relative path variable names inside your program. What do I want to join? I want to join the data folder with the file name, which is going to be reviews.html here. Let me go ahead and display html underscore path. I'm going to show you the os.path.basename function, which is going to take a relative path string as argument. So I'm going to pass html underscore path as argument. The basename function within the OS path module is going to enable us to just extract the name of the file from the relative path, which will be reviews.html in this example. Another useful function within the path module as part of the OS module is something which is called as dir name. I'm going to pass html underscore path as argument to the dir name function, and that's going to give you the opposite part of the relative path here, which is about the relative directory name of the entire path. So you're going to end up just getting data over here. What we're going to do now is to write a function called csv underscore to underscore html, and this particular function is going to have two defined parameters. The first parameter is going to be csv underscore path. The second parameter is going to be html underscore path. For now, I'm just going to type in a pass inside the function. We have already defined our html underscore path variable. Let's go ahead and define the csv underscore path variable, which is going to be the relative path to review1.csv file. Recall that review1.csv file is within the data directory. Let me go ahead and invoke csv underscore to underscore html function at the end of the cell. If I execute this cell, nothing will get displayed as output because I just have a pass within my function. Within my function, I want to be able to create a subdirectory called data underscore html within the data directory. Recall that you can use the OS module mkdir function, and you need to pass as argument the relative path to the directory that you want to create. One thing which you need to always make sure is whenever you're using the mkdir function call, you need to surround that by a try except block in order to handle file exists error, which indicates that the directory already exists. So I'm going to move my os.mkdir function call inside a try block, and the corresponding except block is going to capture file exists error. What do we want to do if we run into file exists error? Pretty much nothing because the directory already exists. So I'm going to type in a pass here. Let's define a variable name for the data underscore html directory. I'm going to use the variable name as html underscore dir underscore path here. Once again, I'm going to use the os.path.join function call. What do I want to join? I want to join data with data underscore html. For extracting the data part from html underscore path, I'm going to use the dir name function call instead of hard coding that within my program. The next part is going to be data underscore html, and we need to take this variable and pass this argument to the mkdir function call here. Let me execute the cell. If we now look at the data folder, that's going to contain an empty data underscore HTML directory or folder. Let's go back to the program here. The next step which I want to go through is to parse review1.csv file. We are going to use the CSV module dictReader function to parse the CSV file. CSV file is going to contain the rows in the form of individual lines. The dictReader function within the CSV module is going to enable us to parse the entire CSV's contents into a list of dictionary. Emphasis on the dictionary. That's because we usually read CSV data into a list of list data structure. Let me show you how to use the dictReader function within the CSV module which we already imported. I'm going to go back to the CSV underscore to underscore HTML function definition. First of all, I'll have to use the open function call and pass as argument CSV underscore path over here, which is the relative path to the CSV file. I don't have to specify the second argument because R mode is the default argument for the file reading mode. Let's capture the return value from the open function call into a variable called file, which is going to store the reference to file object instance. Make sure to right away invoke the close function call using F, and then in between those you can do whatever manipulation you want to do with that particular file object instance. What I want to do here is I want to use the dictReader function within the CSV module. So I'm going to type in csv.dictReader where D and R are capitalized. As an argument, I'm going to pass the F variable, which is storing the file object instance for the corresponding CSV file. The dictReader function returns a reader object instance. You don't need to know any details about the reader object instance other than the fact that it is an iterator. Recall that iterators in Python are iterable. Whenever you have an iterable, you can write a for loop of the format for some variable in the iterator variable, which is going to be reader here. Every iteration is going to retrieve individual row within the CSV file. So I'm going to go ahead and use the variable name as row here. Let me use a print function called to display row. Row is actually going to have a dictionary format. That's because the CSV dictReader function automatically converts each of the rows into a dictionary. So you're going to see a lot of dictionary outputs. The dictionary is going to have keys as the column names, which are going to be details like review ID, review title, review text, and so on. And the values are going to be the actual values within the cells inside that particular row as part of the CSV file. Let's capture useful information which are going to be review ID, review title, and review text within variables inside our for loop here. So I'm going to say RID equal to row of key is going to be review space ID string. Title is going to be row of review space title string. And text is going to be row of review space text over here. Let me go ahead and display review ID, title, and text really quickly. Observe that you're getting the display output corresponding to the print function call. What we want to be able to do now is, first of all, create the blanket HTML file. Think very carefully about where you want to create the blanket HTML file, which is going to be reviews.html. You need your reviews.html file to store hyperlinks to each of the review. Each review is given by each iteration of this for loop. So clearly you'll have to create your open function call for opening reviews.html outside the for loop. So I'm going to invoke the open function call by passing html underscore path as argument. Recall that that's the variable which contains the path to reviews.html. This time I'll have to use the second argument by passing string w to explicitly say that I'm writing contents into this particular file object instance. Be very careful not to use the same variable which you used for the other open function call. I'm going to use my variable here as reviews underscore file. Right away, I'm going to close reviews underscore file by typing reviews underscore file dot close after my for loop. The first thing which I want to do with my reviews file is I want to write the open UL and close UL tag. So let's go ahead and invoke the write function to write the open UL tag by mentioning UL within angle brackets. I'm going to be careful to use a slash n so that we get a proper new line within the HTML file format. After my for loop, I'll have to write my close UL tag, which I'm going to mention using /UL over here. What do we want to do inside the for loop? We want to first of all be able to generate review id.html file for every review, and we are going to store that inside the data underscore HTML folder over here. I'm going to copy this particular step and paste it as a comment. The first thing which I want to do is to create the variable which stores the relative path name to the review id.html file. I'm going to do that by typing os.path.join function call. What do I want to join? I want to join html underscore dir underscore path, which is simply going to be data/html. And to that, I want to not concatenate, add as part of the path. So I'll have to mention that as second argument. To that, I want to join the review ID here, which is given by RID variable. Just for safety, I'm converting RID into string type explicitly. And to this, I have to concatenate .html. So you're going to end up creating one review id.html file for every single row within your CSV file. Let's capture the return value of the os.path.join function into a variable. I'm going to use it as review underscore path. Now we are going to use the open function call to open review underscore path in write mode. Once again, be very careful not to use the same variable as the other two open function calls. I'm going to use the variable as html underscore file here. Let me go ahead and right away call the close function using html underscore file. What do I want to write within each review HTML file? I want to be able to write the title of the review and the associated text here. So I'm going to invoke the html underscore file dot write function call. I'll have to specify a string over here. Let me use the h1 tag for mentioning the title. So I'm going to type in open h1 tag and close h1 tag here. Within the h1 tag, we want the actual title part to go. Let's use the format method as part of the string sequence in order to replace this particular curly braces with the variable which is going to be title over here. Let me add a new line after the h1 tag for proper formatting of the HTML file. The next tag which I want to add is the paragraph open and paragraph close tag. Within those tags, I'm going to add another placeholder and I'll add a /n after the paragraph tags. What do I want to mention within the paragraph tags? I want to mention the text of the review over here. So I'm going to pass the second argument to the format function call as text. Other than writing the content of individual reviews inside the review id.html file, we also need to make sure that we are generating the list item tag within the reviews.html file, which is going to store hyperlink to each of the review ID HTML file that every iteration of the for loop here is going to create. Since we want to create a list item tag for every row within our CSV file processing, we'll have to do that inside the for loop. So I'm going to paste the other step here as a comment. Let me first define a string variable name here. I'm going to call that as HTML underscore str. Within the string variable name, I'm going to use open li tag and close li tag. Close li tag is optional. You can skip that if you don't want to. Let me go ahead and delete that. Within the open li tag, we want to specify the open anchor tag and close anchor tag. Li stands for list item, A stands for anchor. The anchor tag is going to enable us to create the hyperlink that we want here. Within the open A tag, we'll have to mention the attribute name as href. And I'll have to type in equal to and then double quotations. Observe that I'm using double quotations to represent the entire string here. So I'll have to use the escape sequence character to escape the double quotation within the string. Or I can use single quotations to represent the outer string over here, and I'll be able to replace the inner backslash reference without any reference there. What do we want to mention as the argument to the href attribute as part of the anchor tag? That needs to be the path to the HTML file which we want to open when we click on that hyperlink, right? So I'm going to use the placeholder here. Let's use the format method call one more time. As an argument to the format method call, I'll have to specify review underscore path variable, which contains the relative path to the review id.html file. One other detail which I want to mention is the text within the anchor tag. I'm going to use one more curly braces location or like placeholder for that. As an argument, I'm going to pass from the format function call details about that particular review. Let's say that we want to use the review ID, and then along with that I'm going to concatenate a colon, and let's also concatenate title of the review, both of which are going to be useful information. Now we need to be very careful about a couple of things. First of all, you need to add a BR tag to ensure that your HTML file is formatted correctly when it is rendered within your web browser. So I'll have to concatenate the BR tag as a string. So the BR tag only works for the rendered version of the HTML file. How do we take care of the new line within the HTML raw version of the file? We'll have to use a /n for that. So you need both of those over here. What do we want to do with this string? We want to be able to write it inside the reviews.html file. So I'm going to say reviews underscore file dot write of this particular HTML underscore string variable. Let's go ahead and execute this cell over here. Let's switch back to the parent directory for the Jupyter Notebook connection. Observe that we have a file called reviews.html now, which is going to contain an unordered list of each of the individual reviews, which are rows within the reviews1.csv file. For each bullet point for the list item, you're getting the review ID, which is going to be the number before the colon. Then you're getting a colon followed by which you have a title over here. Let's look at one of these links. If you click on the link within the Jupyter Notebook version of reviews.html, you're going to get 403 status code, which is forbidden error in HTTP. That's because Jupyter Notebook does not allow you to navigate from one HTML file to other. Instead, you'll have to use the Finder window over here. Let me double click on data directory and double click on reviews.html file. So let's click on one of the review links. This review has title as Amazon. Let me go back. Something is a little bit off here. Let's look at the data underscore HTML directory. Looks like for some reason, give me just a second. So I am going to go back to what I had before. For some reason, my laptop is pretty slow and it's not able to display data underscore HTML directory here. let's look at the source code of the HTML file that I just created. I must have some discrepancy with the path name. So I'm going to click on the checkbox and click on edit over here, which is going to enable us to look at the source file. Looks like I'm mentioning data and then data/html and the corresponding HTML file. Let's explore the data_html directory within data. Oh, I see the issue now. So my relative path here is saying data/data_html. Instead of that, it should say data_html and the file name over here. I'm going to go ahead and fix that by changing the variable that we use for the first argument within line number 25's format function call. For now, I'm going to just hard code this by saying data_html, and then I'm actually going to use the os.path.join. I'm going to just join the string data_html with the corresponding review id.html file. Hopefully you're able to follow along as to what the problem is. The relative path here is incorrect. That's because I am using the relative path as data/data_html and the review id.html. The data directory is the parent directory of reviews.html file, so this particular relative path is wrong. Instead, your relative path should just be data_html and the review id file here. So let me go ahead and execute the cell one more time, and this time that should fix the issue for us. Let's refresh the local copy of the HTML file. Now if I click on the review id.html file, that's able to load the corresponding review id.html file here, and you get the title as the title from the review, and the first paragraph is the text from the review. I'll wrap up this video here. In the next video, we are going to go through few other HTML tags.